ایشون در مورد وضعیت حقوق بشر در مورد هممیهنان عرب ما، ایرانیان عرب صحبت میکنن. ایشون فعال حقوق بشر و عضو مرکز حقوق بشر اهواز هستن. 4 ساله که در خدمت ایشون هستیم، در جلسات جانبی سودویند همکاری میکنن. البته 4 سال یه مقدار کمتر، 3 ساله حدوداً که سودویند هست. از مدافعین حقوق بشر برای تمام اقشار جامعه ایران هستند. ولی به خصوص در مورد حقوق ملیت‌ها در ایران که از رنج مضاعفی دارند صحبت می‌کنند. بفرمایید.
Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, greeting to you all. Is about Ahwaz, South and Southwest of Iran. Ahwazi Arab statement in Human Rights Council 22nd session. The sources are from Ahwazi Center for Human Rights. Ahwaz is a region where millions of indigenous Ahwazi Arab people live in it. Racist policies of ethnic cleansing and systematic methods of obligating the identity of Ahwazi citizens who have lived in Ahwaz since thousands of years is ongoing. Within this short splint, I am not able to explain all the obvious violations of human rights practiced against the Ahwazi Arabs in Iran. But due to the arbitrary arrests and mass executions and various crimes that occurred in Ahwaz recently, I concentrate my review in this regard to give you a brief image of what is happening now in Ahwaz due to the barbaric violence against the defenseless people. Persistent executions in public or in prisons, arrest and murder under torture are the salient features of Iranian authorities to deal with the Ahwazi Arabs in south and southwest of Iran. Continuous arrests of innocent people in the title of authorities in Iran, and these conducts in the worst forms against Ahwazi Arabs. One of the worst examples of this is the mass arrest recently carried out by the authorities randomly against the citizens of the city of Ahwaz and Hamidiyeh and Falahiyeh, as well as against the cities of Muhammad Khurramshahr and the Khalafiyeh Khalafabad, which has reached so far for more than 50 people during the past few weeks. Parents and family of many activists who have been detained have announced the continued suppression, including arbitrary detention, unfair trials, sentencing of innocent people of peacefully demanding their rights. There are concerns over the health of the other activists who are in jail facing various types of torture. Even those who suffer from disability, their families have raised concerns over their health as well. In addition, most of prisoners still suffer from the effects of torture even after long time of their discharge. As stated in the reports of the Ahwazi Center, Ahwazi human rights groups, including the Ahwazi Center for Human Rights. It is not expected that medical care would be provided to them if needed at the prison, as was made evidence in previous cases. Many prisoners, including those held in the notorious Karun and Sepidar prisons and the health center number 17 in the city of Ahwaz are going through the most awful suffering a man could imagine. The families of the political prisoners have also complained of lack of adequate attention by the international organization of the situation experienced by the Ahwazi prisoners in prisons and detention premises in various parts of the territory. World policy chiefs, United Nations experts, human rights organizations have united to concern the violation of human rights in Iran, especially the planned executions of 5 Ahwazi Arab prisoners of consciousness. The latest is EU Foreign Policy Chief Dame Catherine Ashton, who voiced great concerns over the death sentences against the 5 men from Khalafiyeh, who were arrested in early 2011 for participating in an Arab cultural organization. The Ahwazi Center for Human Rights calls for an urgent intervention from the international community to put an end to the continued violations of human rights, including the continued detention of hundreds of political detainees in appalling conditions. Ahwazi Center for Human Rights holds the international community responsible for the consequences on the lives of the activists and political prisoners who were arrested for conduct of peaceful demonstrations and assemblies. Ahwazi Center for Human Rights calls for immediate urgent action and makes the following demands. Stop the execution sentences which were recently upheld by the Iranian Supreme Court. The immediate release of all political detainees who have been detained, tortured, and sentenced in unfair military trials for practicing their basic rights. A stop to the continuing violations of human rights, including the violent suppression of peaceful protests, continued arbitrary detention, and unfair trials and sentencing. Stop the assassination of Ahwazi men and women under the pretext of the fight against God and other flimsy charges away from the human treatment towards prisoners and detainees. Ahwazi Arabs who were recently sentenced to death. Muhammad Ali Amouri Nejad, 33 years old, a fisher's engineer, arrested in February 2011. Jabir al-Bushoke, 27, married with 1 child, employee of his father's rock grading business and involved in social welfare activities, arrested in March 2011. Mukhtar al-Bushoke, 25, who was 1 year into his military service and is the brother of Jabir al-Bushoke. Hashim Shabani, 31, married with 1 child, arrested in February 2011. Hadi Rashidi, 37, single with a postgraduate qualification in chemistry, arrested in February 2011. Abdul Reza Amiri Khanafre, son of Yunus, 25 years old, single. Abdul Amir Mujaddami, age 32 and married. Shahab Abbasi, son of Ahmad, age 26 year, single. Ghazi Abbasi, son of Ahmad, aged 30 years, single. Thank you very much.